Hey guys, I'm Berenger, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showing you how I cook my vegetables. I have posted TikTok after TikTok after Instagram story of my veggie bowls, of my Buddha bowls, of my Nourish bowls, and they all have this roasted, sauteed veg in them. I've been getting a lot of questions. How do you make your vegetables? How do you cook your vegetables? How do you saute your vegetables? What are your vegetables? I'm here to share it with you all today. I'm rocking this cute little ponytail. Keep in mind, I am not a culinary expert. I am not a professional chef. I'm just a home cook, a healthy home cook. If I'm doing anything wrong, if you have tips to share with me, I invite them. Down in the comments, let me know, and maybe I'll try them out. Keep it a conversation. I'm gonna be giving you some tips, some tricks, what I do, things I use, and then we're gonna do a step-by-step cook with me type thing of some roasted veggies that you can make. I make these almost every day. They're healthy, they're good for you, they're full of vitamins and minerals and nutrients. So if you wanna know how to make your vegetables taste better, come with me. There are some basic things we need to make our vegetables taste good. We have 5 main things. We have our pan, we have our oil or our fat, we have our vegetables, we have our spices, and then we need to stir it all around. I'll be breaking down these 5 things. Number 1, our pan. I just use a saute pan. You really can use any pan, you can make it work. Maybe it's not the correct way to do it, but use what you have, make it work. I use a non-stick pan. I'll link some down below from Amazon. I like to use a huge one because I cook for a family of 4, so we make a lot of vegetables. It's quite a large pan. Next up, we have our oil. There are definitely a lot of different oils you can use to cook and saute. In my case, saute means cooking in some fat, in some oil, over heat, stirring it around. There are definitely a plethora of different oils that you can choose from. My number one, my go-to, my ride or die is olive oil. I love olive oil. It's super good for you, full of polyphenols, and I think olive oil is one of the best for sauteing. Really gets your veggies nice and crisp, nice and cooked, and I love the flavor of it. Number 2 is coconut oil. I don't think this works as well for sauteing, but it's still a good option, still a super healthy option. If you get the refined version, it doesn't have as much of a taste as olive oil. And my third choice would be avocado oil. Avocado oil can get a little bit more expensive. Avocado oil doesn't get as hot as fast, but still a healthy choice, still really good for you. 2 oils that I don't recommend. I don't recommend vegetable oil, and I don't recommend canola oil. From what I have seen, they are very inflammatory. They tend to be super refined. I like to stay away from the vegetable and canola oil. Next, we're talking about our vegetables. There are so many different vegetables that you can saute. I encourage you to mess around with it, play around with it, try different vegetables, see what ones work for you, see what ones don't, see what flavors you like, what flavors you don't. I like to break the vegetables up into 3 categories. You have the ones that take the longest to cook. You have the ones that take a medium amount of time to cook, and then you have the ones that take the shortest amount of time to cook. I put the ones that take the longest into the pan first. Then I do the medium ones, and then I do the shortest amount of time. So they're on the heat the least amount of time, if that makes sense. Some things that take a long time to cook are things like mushrooms, onion, carrots. Some things in the middle are like broccoli, cauliflower, bell pepper, zucchini. And some things that take a really short amount of time are leafy greens like a kale or a spinach, and tomatoes. Some vegetables I even like to steam before I put them in the pan to saute. I feel like this softens them up a little bit, so things like carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, I steam those a little bit before I throw them into the pan, just so it's easier for them to cook. Now, our next step is spices. This is where you really go crazy. This is really where you have your creative expression. Find the flavors that work for you. There are so many different spices, so many different flavors, so many different cultures, everything unique to them. Some of my favorite are garlic, turmeric, smoked paprika, and red pepper flakes. On the screen, I have a list of a few spice blends that you can look at, you can use, try them out. Pinterest is also an amazing resource for different spice blends. Experiment, see what you like. You can even put the spices in before your veggies, or in with the veggies that take the longest to cook, to kind of let the spices bloom, let the flavors come out. I like to do this especially with red pepper flakes. If you put red pepper flakes in before you get all your vegetables in there, it really brings out the little kick it has. And we have to stir it around. You can use a wooden spoon. I don't recommend anything metal because you don't want to be scraping your pan. I personally like using a rubber scraper. I feel like this gives me the most movement, lets me spread around spices the easiest, pick things up, flip it over, but find what works for you. I hope that was a good little starting bit of information. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Let's get into the cook with me. Starting by steaming our vegetables that need to get a little bit softer, lighting it and keeping it on high, adding my steamer basket with cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, putting the lid on and letting that steam for about 15 minutes. I'm cutting up some shallots. I prefer these over onion. This really makes your dish nice and fragrant. If you guys know me, you know I love mushrooms. These guys are so good for you, especially your gut. Cutting up some zucchini into rounds and slicing them in half. Lighting our huge saute pan, I'm adding a lot of olive oil because you know I love olive oil. Breaking up our shallots a little bit with a rubber scraper. Adding some red pepper flakes to let it bloom in the oil. This really brings out the spice in the oil. I'm using my garlic press to press some garlic, just slicing that off, adding it to the pan and sauteing it around a little bit. Be careful, garlic does burn super easy. Adding in my mushrooms. I have this on medium heat, letting the mushrooms get a little bit soft, making sure everything's moving around. Adding the zucchini and keeping things moving. We add the steamed veggies. They're a little bit softer now, easier to cook up. Here I'm adding turmeric, mixing it around, smoked paprika, salt and pepper. And just moving it around until you get your desired consistency. I love to add these to bowls, eat them with dinner, adding a protein or a starch. These are a great little side dish. Get creative. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I definitely love sharing with you how I cook. Love sharing with you my recipes. This is something I do so often, so it's definitely in my basics. Let me know if you have any questions down below, any tips, any tricks on how you make your vegetables taste better. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave it a like. I will have all my socials linked down below. I'm constantly posting recipes on my TikTok, on my Instagram. If you want more content from me, you can see it there. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Thank you guys so much for watching and peace out. Thank you guys so much for watching. You do you. You're the only. I want a different catchphrase for at the end of my videos. Please help a gal out.